So recently I've been thinking about the French Revolution, and I wish there was some sort of media out there, if there was a TV show, a movie, because there is so much juicy content. There's so much good things. Like the French Revolution, obviously, it's revolutionary, pardon the pun, in so many different respects. I find the one, like, people don't realize just how fundamental modern life is based on the French Revolution. The idea of the right and the left come from the French Revolution. The idea of nationalism comes from the French Revolution. The Napoleonic Code, which has been instrumental in all sorts of countries in the world, comes from the French Revolution. It's like, for our political systems of today, it's hard to imagine a world where the French Revolution, like, without it, and even the idea of the press having making a difference, and people being able to use the press on a day-to-day basis to keep track of the news and keep track of, and to be able to spread propaganda, be able to say what you want to say. Like, there is so many aspects of this, and I want to talk about it more in these videos. So the one thing I'd love to talk right now especially is the press, and uh, and the idea, I'm forgetting what his name is, but there is one guy who's crazy as hell. I love reading about him because he's absolutely bonkers. But essentially, he creates a newspaper, whatever his name is. Nobody's watching this. Nobody cares. But he creates a newspaper that prints. He's basically the tabloid paper of the day. And what he does, he posts these absolutely insane tirades that I wish I had on hand. It would be great to read one of them because absolutely fascinating. But he's basically the first one he's out there going like, death to anybody who opposes us, and death to anybody who's not a full-blown revolutionary that wants to overthrow everything should die. And he is also crazy because he spends a lot of his time during this time, throughout the 1791, 90, 89, and I think he dies in 92. He's confined to a warm bath because he's got this skin condition which makes him look gross as hell. But he's in there laying in this bath because apparently that's what makes him feel great at the time, or that's the only thing that kind of takes away his pain for the moment. But he sits there and he's writing all these ballistic, insane tirades about, from everybody from the king to any of the officers of the day, and he is absolutely fundamental for understanding the French Revolution, how they got to where the end point is of Robespierre with, half a face. He's the press is absolutely fundamental because during especially the days in 1791, before the whole outbreak of war, their idea that the Austrians are going to come in, and actually I think that's 1790, but the Austrians are going to come in, and the press, it basically hyperventilates and it does, especially in Paris, this idea that the Austrians are going to come in and murder us all and put the king back on the throne. Number one, not too far off from what the king actually wanted, which, I mean, the king tries to leave in 1791 and he gets caught. But I mean, the threat is legitimate that the king would have gotten the Austrians, their blood relatives. And I mean, the kings, yeah, I mean, they were absolutely wanted to get the Austrian army to come back, come into France, kill out all these revolutionaries, and put the king back on the throne. So it's like, part of it is insane hyperbole, and part of it is a real threat. And it's really hard to parse out what's real, what's not. And the press, it leads to the levee en masse, because it's this whole idea of like, we have to go and fight or they're going to literally kill us right now. We have to, and I think that's sort of what inspires Lazar Carnot to put in the levee en masse, being that if they don't, and if they don't try to, like, it takes two things. It takes levee en masse to get the amount of manpower out there, and the fact that it's these revolutionaries that are absolutely vital because of their passion. Their absolute passion leads to them helping save France, and that eventually leads to nationalism, which is partially due to the press hyping up the threat. And yeah, it's very interesting. I'm gonna go into the subject lots more, but just a little bit of my thoughts. Take it.